To hear from different voices. I don't want to just hear from people that agree with me. We're about to dive into some even deeper topics. Ask a Brother Podcast.
Ask a Brother Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Ask a Brother Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff St. James. You know, the revolution is going to be because of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special announcement. Thanks to Chicago's very own DJ the Money Coach, we're celebrating the sponsorship for
A lot of stuff running. What the hell is happening here? Let's see. Make sure everything is in order. Oh, what's going on, everyone? Let me see. I'm hearing a weird echo. I can make sure everything is in order. All right. Shout out to everybody. Welcome everybody to Ask a Brother Podcast. I'm your host, and then I'm going to play our sponsor. And then after that, we're going to jump straight into the interview. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special announcement. Thanks to Chicago's very own DJ the Money Coach, we're celebrating the sponsorship for Ask a Brother Podcast and the grand opening of our luxurious resort in Zanzibar, Tanzania. DJ's giving away an incredible grand prize in March, a 7-day, 6-night stay in paradise, complete with ground transportation, incredible excursions, your own personal chef on the white sand beaches, and breathtaking sunsets. All you have to do is text BROTHA, B-R-O-T-H-A, to 972-640-9572, or scan the QR code for your chance to win. Pack your bags and we will see you in paradise. Again, text BROTHA, B-R-O-T-H-A, to 972-640-9572.
All right. Now I can officially say welcome to Ask a Brother Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff St. James. And listen, guys, I'm super excited about these back-to-back events that I'm having today. I obviously want to be doing an interview right now, and then also a live call-in show for the ladies of Why Are You Single later tonight, potentially with Taylor Chandler if she's able to make it for sure. So guys, if you're starting to kind of trickle in, just a couple quick announcements. Number one, please make sure you like this, be a subscriber if you are not, and feel free to become a member because that's the cheat code way to be able to support the brand and the channel as we're continuing to grow. Membership is only $2.99. And shout out to our new sponsor from DJ the Money Coach, as well as the folks at Escape to Zanzibar, pinned at the top of this particular live stream, as far as the comments, as well as on this actual channel itself, is the Escape to Zanzibar raffle, where basically you can enter in for free, put your information in, and get an opportunity and chance to win a $20,000 trip to Zanzibar. So listen, y'all, that's how you get a free trip. So make sure you enter it in. But listen, now that people are starting to trickle in, real quick, y'all, what do I always ask? If you like this stuff, feel free to share it. Share it with as many as 2, 3, 4, even 5 people. So guys, hit that like button, send it to a few folks, especially all of y'all that keep up with all these YouTubian streets and the different content creators. Whenever it is that I have a really dope guest on, I always recommend that you guys share it for sure. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to now introduce tonight's next guest, and then we're going to jump straight into things. So guys, real quick, make sure you subscribe to me. Make sure you subscribe to this guest. And again, make sure that you pay attention to tonight when we have our live call-in show for sure. So this individual, I actually learned about her and came across her work in 2025. And in a very, very short amount of time, I was actually quite impressed with her output and the different types of ways in which she would go about covering different topics, commentary. She wasn't overly biased for just men or even for women. She was somebody who I kind of saw as more of like a straight shooter. And I thought, once her and I connected, it made so much sense to kind of bring her to you all, many of which I'm sure you all would know for sure. I see we've doubled the amount of people that were watching in the last 2 minutes since I've been talking. So guys, if you're just new, if you just walked in, feel free to make sure you like this, share it with 2, 3, 4, even 5 people. Let's boost it in the algorithm and let's make it known. We're definitely going to have a special guest about to come on to the stage. So without further ado, y'all, please, please, please help me welcome to the stage for the first time, Miss Lucki Maree. What's going on, ma'am?
Thank you.
All right. So for starters, welcome. How are you feeling?
What's up, Jeff? I'm feeling good. I'm a little nervous for some reason.
Listen, no need to worry about. Nah, you gonna be straight. I think there's been a few people that's told me that, which is interesting because my channel is younger than yours, so I don't know what you'd be nervous with me about.
But you probably go a lot harder than me.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, I got my ways, but I try to be respectful to guests, because I do like working and collabing with people and would like them to come back in the future. So you ain't got nothing to worry about for sure. For
Okay.
starters, besides the welcome, why don't you first start with letting people know a little bit about yourself and how you even got into content creation and why?
Yeah, well, you can call me Lucki Maree. I got into this space by accident. I don't even know what the space is anymore. I
Mhm,
just make my own space on my channel. But I got into the space I was into binary options when it comes to compound and trading interest and things like that.
mhm.
So I got into the space by way of a Millionaire Morning Show with
Got
Anton.
it.
So then it kind of went through a loop of supporting the show that he was on, which was Lapeef. And then I was in like their Facebook group. And then from there, I was encouraged to call in one day. And then they seen how I kind of was not shy to give my opinion or whatever. So then from there, I was invited to give my opinion on with Anton.
Mhm.
But I didn't really start doing content, and it's with someone who's not on YouTube anymore, a young lady, and we did like female collabs where it was like bridging the gap between she was super pro women and I was just
Mhm.
also like dealing with it how it comes. So at that point, she encouraged me to start my own channel. So by myself, I've just had a channel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so from the springboarding from the Anton and Lapeef, you saw a lane that kind of made sense. And that's kind of how I approached it too, honestly, where I did a lot of watching and looking and seeing that I wasn't seeing a lot of black male commentators doing what we're doing now. Like
Mhm.
really, really getting into like one-on-ones, getting to know people, but not just getting to know people like, oh, let's just talk about like why you're famous, but like actually getting to know people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But listen, one of the elephants in the room I think we can kind of transition to is I know my name kind of popped up a week or two ago. And a couple people were sending me little screenshots and or sending me
Yeah.
some clips and everything, and I was like, oh, me and Lucky got beef. I ain't know I didn't know
I
that.
don't
So why don't both here now and also in front of the audience, where are you at in terms of me and you issues, beef, and even how the hell that even come up? Because I in my mind, I didn't think I did
so
it wrong.
See, I don't know what people call it beef. I'm just a person where since I've been in the YouTube space and it's kind of affected how I've done content or how serious I've taken it. Because
Mhm,
I always looked at this as a hobby that may just so happen to make money. If it ever became feeling like a job, I didn't want to do it. Because I
mhm,
have other goals that aren't contingent on me being a YouTuber. No, no offense. If it happens, it happens, but that's not like my main goal.
yep,
So I really maneuver through people. These content creators, especially black content creators, they're very messy, they're very strategic. They
uh-oh,
won't leave a comment in your chat, even though they're cloud watching, but then they'll tag you. So I
mhm,
had never seen you in my chat or even speak or let yourself be known.
yeah,
So I know I was doing reviews on Mika, the
mhm,
situation, and I was in heavily disagreement. I'm very theatrical. So I seen you doing a collab with her, and I'm like, I've never seen this guy. What is he tagging me for? What
mhm,
does he want? So that's just the defense that I have that I should work on eventually. But
mhm.
that's what that was.
Yeah, yeah, and in hindsight, yeah, it was one of those things which is true. I knew you via Proxy Jazz because her and I had worked together previously, and I saw she was working with you. And at the same time, while Mika was trending, and me and her were contemplating, putting it into
Yeah.
place and doing a live show, I just went off the last four people I remember who I saw anything about covering that story. So that was why I
Yeah.
was like, oh, you, O'Shea, Lakeisha, Keisha, whatever her name is, and somebody else. And I just pick people, and then out of nowhere, people say, "Are you beefing with Lucky? What you do to Lucky?" And I'm like, "Yo, I'm like, I feel like I
That's
can't say
crazy.
nothing." Yeah,
That's probably Lucky Charm. Shout out to them.
yeah. Hey, shout out to the Lucky folks, for sure. And I see we got over 80 plus people that's starting to trickle in. So, guys, if you're in the building and you're watching, please make sure that you let me know. Let me know that you're here. Make sure that you like this, and make sure that you subscribe to both my channel and Lucky's as well if you're currently watching from either angle, for sure. All right, so initial questions that I've been wanting and kind of thinking about since this was kind of coming about. Number one is there any story or a situation you've covered or reacted to that you regret or wish you could have done differently? Take me out of it, but another situation, more important one, right? Any story,
Um,
any situation that you've covered that or reacted to that you wish that you could have like reacted or responded to way differently?
It's a few of them. They weren't
Mm.
really stories necessarily. I would say Kitty, she had a video that surfaced of her being funny, talking about, I won't say. Uh,
Okay.
and I'm just very comical with stuff. So I also felt like to see even reminiscences of how she felt like, what if my review of it was a little bit too funny of it? But I
Mm.
think coming to YouTube, people laugh at stuff about me, so I just look at it like, hey, we all get reviewed. But I would say the things that I regret most are I have an impulsive way of doing it when it comes to my channel, because I'll just go live and start naming names.
Oh, ma'am, you need more research or something.
So
You can't just be Joe. Hold on, because we ain't gonna skip. This is, you know what? I'm glad we're doing this interview now
that's
because
fine.
that's funny and it's true. I have to stop myself before I just react. I got to slow down, really look into it, try to think about it from other angles. And basically, what you're saying is, once you see something, stream of consciousness, you just got to just go.
It's not even just that. It's just, and I'm sure and it has a lot to do with why I took offense to being tagged. You have
Mm,
many different content creators that work with each other, but they talk about each other.
yeah.
So what it happens is you may have female content creators since I've been here before I made content, they may have a little bit of motion, maybe bigger than you. So what they do is they behind the scenes spread rumors. They say what they think of you just out of whatever the jealousy is. So for me, there's always this thing, oh, don't say nothing, don't say nothing, don't say nothing, but it can affect your ability to collab with other creators because they heard, they heard,
Mm,
they heard.
mhm.
So how I just choose to maneuver, well, if it's not about community or growing, I'm gonna say your name. And then people always think, oh, that's messy, but I don't see it as
Uh-huh.
messy. I think you're being messy to try to stunt somebody else's socialization throughout a space just because you may have a certain, if it's not something super serious or
Yeah.
affecting your work, I don't see the reason, but there's cliques. And I'm not in a particular clique.
Yeah.
So when I'm not in a clique and then people want to create these narratives or do little subtle shot videos, passive aggressive, I'm just not that person. So I'm going to put a name to you. I see what you're doing. You
Mm,
may gossip and make it messy behind the scenes. And, I get it. People may say, oh, that's not my cup of tea. Well, I never try to fit in with anyone because I never fit in. So
yeah.
that's pretty much what it is.
uh, do you think that the internet actually truly allows people in this space to grow, or do you think most times people just view you with like a permanent label?
I think people view me with a permanent label, and I think that you create your own space to grow in. If people
Mm,
want to come see what you're talking about and what you're about, they'll come see what you're talking about. If people want to hear gossip about you, they'll go to channels that want to gossip about you. It's just
yeah.
that simple. We're in a time of information. If you can't figure out what you want to know about somebody, you're stupid. It's just what it is.
Oh man. So do you feel more judged by strangers or people you know personally?
Ooh. Strangers.
Why?
Because strangers usually judge you based on perception,
Mm,
or image, and they don't really take the time out to get to know you. I mean, people don't even take the time out to read past the title. So
facts.
taking the
Facts.
time to get to know you is too much. So
Mhm,
I would
mhm.
say more by strangers.
Okay. Okay. And what part of you do people misunderstand the most?
Ugh. Um, my delivery.
What's
Well,
confusing about it?
I just think especially as a woman, I think that people, you're supposed to deliver things very soft. You're supposed to come off very docile. And
Mhm,
I just think that when you're a person who was raised, around a lot of rough people, rough environments,
mhm,
you
mhm,
deliver things the way your grandmother, the way everybody in your family do it. And so it can come off a certain way because most people do not tell themselves the truth, or they don't really have a harsh reality that they live in. They just coddle, or if you too much for me, I'll just go to somebody else who agrees with me or validates what I think. So I think
mhm,
for me, I only want to validate what that person think is right, or where we can grow at, and because that helps me. So sometimes that can come off harsh or
mhm.
dismissive.
What is that the hardest part, or is there something else that's really like the hardest part about just being a woman with like strong feelings and opinions in this space?
See, I like to think that I'm not in this space.
Ma'am, I hate to break it to you, but you don't go trending especially when you have these random spikes when you choose to put content out.
I mean, I'm adjacent, I associate, you know,
People know
I
people. Listen, you a
okay.
brand. You are a brand at this point, whether you realize it or not. Like I've only been doing this a year, and it's weird to know that there's people that now know of me that I've never met personally. So you're a brand. You actually real now. You're
Hey, and I think the brand should just be it's not digestible to male or female. Some men, most of my channel is male supported.
Mm,
There are women that do support that are similar like me, but I understand that generally in my life I have not had the easiest connection to females
mhm,
in a way of friendship with, because it's always, oh, you know, she's pretty, let's be cute together, or she's this, and it's not really a substance. So as you get older, as you go through
mhm,
life, as you get wise, you kind of want like-minded people. So when you come into a YouTube space, you think that these people, some people are older than you, some people are around the same age, they've been through life. Maybe they're speaking from wisdom or things that they've experienced, trial and error. It's not really about that. It's just about, oh, we perceive you as this, we think you this. Who are you to grow? Who are you to change? Who are you
mhm,
to, it's just a shame in that area. So when we say space, I think my space is on my channel. I
mhm,
may do content with some people who may be associated with other channels, and I support them for whatever they want to do. But
mhm,
my space is just straight down the middle. Whoever wants, what I'm saying? It
mhm.
don't matter. Sometimes I can get it. My channel be against me.
Oh,
So
damn. I get that every episode. It seems like real quick. You mentioned it kind of earlier about your demographics of a lot of men watch you in comparison to women. Behind the scenes, who's easier for you to work with, men or women, and why?
I'm in.
Hold on, gentlemen. We are. That's a point for us. That's another point for us. We not. Please explain why in this space, because I'm actually surprised by that. In the short
Yeah.
time I've been working in this space, the amount of things that ladies have said to me behind the scenes is wild. It's wild. It's wild where they're getting it from the men in terms of a lot of the men are trying to sleep with everybody. But then with the ladies, it's the caddy always trying to throw each other under the bus, always trying to one up each other, always looking at each other through competition mode. Why do you think, from your vantage point, it's been easier to work with men than women?
I'm not saying that it's is necessarily not hard. I haven't had
Mhm,
challenges with men.
mhm.
But if we're gonna compare, I think the reason why it's harder for women, for me, is because I always, regardless, contrary to what people think, I have a soft spot
Oh
more
yeah, yeah,
so with
yeah, yeah.
women.
All this pitbull stuff on the internet that
It's just
everybody
a
think,
it's just a barbed wire fence,
yeah.
it's just that.
Now that
Um,
I know you. Nah, you ain't not. You're not at all what I think when people who really, really be coming at you crazy. You're like super chill, down to earth, like normal. But you
Very
human, so yeah.
understanding, very, yeah. And
Okay.
I think that's why I come off the way I do, because
Mm,
there is really no reason for you to do that. There's so much understanding, there's so much conversation, there's so much, so much, so much. But with women, I think they come off um very friendly, but their intentions the whole time are vindictive. And I think
mm.
men, what's the most you gotta worry about? If he wants to have sex?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you kinda pretty much know it's not really a pretty they're it's not the same. With women, it's just more so, oh, the fake girl's girl, the whole, it's so many women in space where I really would
Mhm,
love to do content, but it's just not that, oh, this topic you felt this way, and then I gotta get on the phone, and then I gotta talk about this, and then it's da, da, da. And then it's just like we could do that. But then
mhm,
when it turns into, you really got a problem with me, but I'm not really understanding. I think we're just disagreeing on the subject. It's conniving, because then it's just like, what are you around me? I can't trust that. I don't like that. Man, it's pretty much just, if he don't want to do content no more, it's because you can't give him no access. It ain't really,
yeah.
that's pretty much what it is.
Mhm, mhm. You don't have to mention a whole bunch of different examples of drama over the years, but can
Ooh.
you pick one, and what did you learn from it after experiencing it?
Uh What did I learn from it? I mean, it's the same lesson I've learned through life, but I would say if it has anything to do with the space, you just can't trust these bitches. They're just not trustworthy. They're fake. Um,
Damn.
and as long as you have a nice voice and you
Hmm.
can just passive aggressive, you're gonna always wiggle out of being accountable. So,
Damn.
and I
Damn.
just feel like that particular situation showed me it doesn't matter if you. This was like an older situation, but
Hmm.
it doesn't matter. You just have women have arrested development. There's an issue. I'm not even just joking. It's just really I think people have arrested development, but we're speaking about my experience as far as trying to make I just feel like there's an area where you can develop and they just choose not to. They just choose to kind of handle situations when it comes one on one like children. And
Is
so it
it
affects the
jealousy?
ability to grow.
Like, what is it?
Um,
Yeah. Like, what is
well,
it for you being?
you said I mean, in that situation years ago, one might say, but
Mm,
I never think I'm not that shallow. I always think it's more internal. I think most issues is not had nothing to do with you, it's that person, you
mm-hmm.
know? So
Mm-hmm. Do you find that is there anyone or are there few people in this space that you even feel like you can trust?
in the space.
The content space. Yeah.
Yes, I love Fantasy Island Girl. I met
Okay.
her through this
Okay.
space. I would trade her. She's the only woman I say through this space in my adult life
Mm,
where we can argue on the subject and I could trust that it's that. She still is not fake. She's not gonna, because we never actually we have issues when I just be going through my issues, thinking like all these
mhm.
females the same. You know, uh someone else through this space that Ricky.
Okay.
Um, Philosophical is a cool
Ella,
person
my
I
guy
met through
Ella.
this space.
Yeah. Hold on.
Um,
Shout out to Philosophical, man. He was the
Mr.
one that actually,
Fantastic.
yeah, he connected us, man. Shout out to him. He's actually a thorough, real dude. And what you see on camera is who he is, like, not on camera. The exact same guy, 24/7. And I actually appreciate that in this space. Because I've learned what you're learning now is like
Mhm.
you got the side of what they're showing on the camera. And then behind the scenes, it's like, yo, you was just on a panel with so and so, and you was just collabing with so and so. And now you saying that they're the worst thing ever and they're horrible. And I'm like,
Yeah. The reason why I say certain people is because even if we weren't cool, if you've ever actually spoke up for what's right,
mhm,
I was cool with that. But everyone else, I don't think they do content. I don't think they've
okay,
ever done content. They're kind of like just supporters from the space.
got
But
you.
Danica, I love Danica Maree. She
Then,
supports me
yeah.
regardless. So yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm leaving anybody out. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, the
Oh
ones
no,
that I
no.
can just
Some people gonna
support.
be pissed at you. What about me? I've been
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna come. Um,
Just who I could think of, just
mhm.
always just recently who's reach out or regardless. Yeah.
I'm gonna cover a couple super chats real quick. Shout out to CEO
Okay.
pulling up in the building. The genius. Good. Appreciate you, sir, for the $5 showing love for sure. My man 2K coming in the building. Jeff St. James and Lucki Maree, a great combo. Thank you, good sir, for the 9.99 as well. And welcome to the new members that just pulled up and joined today as we are having this current conversation. And then $20. Thank you for a 2K stop being messy, brother. Respectfully salute the content, brother. Keep shining and salute to the beautiful Lucki Maree. Listen, brother, you could say I'm handsome too, but thank you for the compliments nonetheless. And yeah, I'll get to 2K's final super chat at towards the tail end. And thanks everybody for the money that's kind of supported. So guys, if you're currently watching, before we wrap things up in the next 20 minutes or so, please make sure that you're subscribed to both of our platforms or channels. Make sure that you like this particular video and let's spread and send this. Let's see if we can clear it to over 200 plus people concurrently watching. The easiest way to do it is just send it to 2, 3, 4, even 5 people, and then we'll be able to exceed that pretty easily. What was a good question I was wondering with you? Oh, this is gonna be good. General beefs, right? Is there any actual rules for you when it comes to there being actual beef between you and somebody else out in this
I
space?
don't
Or is it like whatever comes to mind, you gonna say it?
um I don't think it's beef. I just think
Mm,
I realize you something, I'm gonna call you out. That's what it is. It's not really a beef.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but because I know you, I'm gonna let you interview, show you gonna work how you work it.
Mhm.
No, I do say what comes to my head. It's more like a freestyle, you know what I'm saying? Like a battle rap.
Yeah.
I get on the track. If I'm thinking of something and it sound like something, it's like I'm on the phone. That's why I say the internet homegirl. It's like if you call me and you like, let me tell you what this bitch just did. This it ain't even nothing that deep. It's just what I'm thinking of in the moment. I'm saying it. It's not that deep.
Nah. I understand now. I understand your approach now because you and Illa are actually very similar to me. Where I do think that y'all wear your hearts on y'all sleeves in this space.
We do.
Yeah, and I'll be looking at y'all like, please don't crash out. Please don't crash out. Cause it's like what I'm realizing that's my approach is, and me and Illa was just having a conversation about this before. I literally have to consistently week in and week out remove 95% of my emotions from the shit. Because I know that 99% of the people in this space didn't know I exist and may not rock with me tomorrow. So at any point, people can switch up. People cannot like me anymore. People can believe narratives that's not true. So I kind of have to go into this almost with little to no emotion at all. And it's like when people move different or people move in a way that, I either was surprised about, or I don't even get surprised in this space because I feel like anybody can do anything. And you kind of alluded to that, like anybody can switch up at any time. I've been learning that like I have to almost just be willing to expect that comes with the territory of doing this. And it's like, it's disappointing, but it's almost not shocking to me. Where it's like, me and you do this interview 3 months, 6 months from now, there's some story I come out with, and you like, I hate what Jeff did. I'm gonna come at him crazy. And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, you're a content creator. You're gonna cover stuff that's relevant. It almost makes sense to me. In my mind, it's like this space doesn't operate like our actual friendships. And I've learned that in the last 6 months, that's been like a real wake-up call for me. Because I was like, I really want to do this. And then when I came into space, at first it was like everybody showing love, getting to know people, exchanging contact information. And then very quickly, it's like entitlement, jealousy, backbiting, throwing people under the bus, saying you cool with one person, but saying that they commit crimes and do horrible things.
It's the community, right?
Yeah. And I'm just like, I feel like what you listed, I think I can legit trust like maybe like 4 or 5 people legitimately in this space. And I've interacted with hundreds of people already. So what you're saying, I don't see it as like too far off or too crazy, honestly.
I think it's a difference between doing content where you're just reviewing what someone's saying, you funny, versus you actually creating behind the scenes narratives and things to make your content this way about another creator. I think there is something different. Like if you say something in a video and I just react to what you say, that's just me reacting to what you're saying. If I cause issues in your life or as far as a content creator, just to have content on you, that's something totally different. That's making it not a place that's the same for everyone else to build. That means that there's something specific about you. I want people to not like this person. That's totally different than just reacting to content. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody has a different journey where, to me, like you said, Beef, it's fine. If you do a video, you react, everybody comments on stuff. People could comment stuff on stuff. I say that's fine. I think it just becomes a different journey where people may not understand you when you have people like the person you're bringing up that comes from he said, she said, and they feel like, oh, it's okay to come in my chat and say that's why you got stabbed. Something that was very serious to me. So that's a grown man. I don't know you. So it's not just about content issues. These people genuinely click up and we about to make her look a certain way. And it's like, okay, what's the issue? It's nothing. You just got to keep doing your content. So it's not the same. And they're everywhere. Because if you know what I'm saying, they're everywhere. So
related
it's just it's a pick and choose. So when you say this space, I'm on my channel and I've associated with the space, but on my channel, people come to me, they want to work with me. That's cool. But yeah, it's not a family.
Yeah. So, and real quick, because I see some people are already in the chat asking a couple different questions. I see House of Hypocrites has pulled up and said, is the interview with or guest appearance with Mika still going to happen, or is it scrapped? I'm going to tentatively say no. I have some particular reasons for why that is. In terms of like how I'm not trying to make my channel necessarily Wendy Williams. I do like to get to do deep dives and get to know people. And, if I am going to do something, I'm going to make sure my heart and motives are in the right place. And, if I have to really reevaluate myself at that moment when I was getting ready to do that with Mika, I think it was more so doing it because it's trending than necessarily because it was something I was really genuinely interested in and super, super concerned about. It just wasn't as relevant for me as it was, I guess, for a lot of other people, if I could be honest. Can me and Mika still work together in the future? Absolutely. We have a cool relationship. And no, we ain't hanging out in no hotel rooms if people want to ask. So now we're cool. We're homies. No major issues between Mika and myself. It's just something that if I am going to interview somebody, if I am going to bring somebody on, if I am going to collab with them, it has to be a reason beyond just because the public wants it. So I hope that helps or answers your question, good brother. I did see another super chat. 2K takes just wanted to ish on the House of Hypocrites, but because I know he can't match the super chat, get off and go make a video. Hey, 2K, that appreciate you for the money, good brother. You and House of Hypocrites, y'all seem like y'all may need to have a conversation outside of this particular platform or channel. And House of Hypocrites, man, yeah, man. Him and Lakeisha Keisha, I'm gonna try to stay away from y'all two because y'all do a lot of deep diving, and I'm like, my God, I was like, do you not want to get on some of these channels' bad sides for sure? So a couple more questions because I know I don't want to hold you too super long. How has being a public figure changed how you experience love and trust?
It actually drives me closer to my family and my inner circle, to be honest. Because you look at all these people that run to the internet for validation of other people who everybody just need damn therapy. You know what I'm saying? But you have people now that shame therapy. They make fun of you if you're a man that loves your wife, if you're a woman that loves your husband. Like there's terms for it. And it's people who we kind of must see, like, regardless if we laugh at stuff, we all thought we all came to this sector or whatever because we thought that there was an issue within a community. We blame in previous generations, but we're in an active generation, and these are mothers and fathers. You know what I'm saying? People who are responsible to initiate something, whether we think it's funny or not. But the people just choose to be popular in high school because they never were, so they have another chance to reinvent themselves. And it's like I said, it's more like Arrested Development. So when you realize that, can you really find solutions with people who still want accountability of children? Can you still actually grow and build families with people who run from things or who go to content or listen to things that discourage you from actually working it out with your woman, working it out with anything, going back to something? It's just, just like a hospital, broken people with no solutions, no nothing. And to me, it just drives me closer to fix things in my family, be more open-minded with conversation. You know what I'm saying? I will say that because it's just a reminder that you got your family and your community starts with yourself. So I think that keeps me grounded, because if it was just relying on this quote unquote online community, I don't think nobody should. What moral you talking? What integrity? What boundary? What standard? You know what I'm saying? We so quick to listen to people who don't care that they have the results to listen to. And then when you have people who have the results, or they're saying, hey, I did this, now I'm doing this, you got a whole lot of people reminding you. Like right now, Jeff, let's say you could be up. I always use this example. You could be up 10 M's right now, 10 million right now.
Oh yeah.
But somebody could remind you, oh, I remember in 2000, whatever, your car got repoed. Remember. It's like, we're just so like envious of stupid. It's just, I don't know. It's just a lot of issues.
I don't get it completely, because I feel like YouTube and the internet is so big that there's room for all of us to kind of to do our own things, on our own, or work together. But I understand there's a market for it too. There is a market for when Anton and Mika had their situation, like a lot, everybody wanted to eat. And it was kind of like, well, it's their turn. And then when it's going to be somebody else's turn, we're going to try to eat again. And I'm like, this environment, it does kind of set you up to where you can't have real relationships with like 95% of people in this space. You can't. Not if you're going to cover what that happened. Yeah.
And when you honest, somebody remember when you was honest? It's like, damn, idiot.
Remember when you was honest?
Like
Yeah.
it's
Oh
yeah.
man. I listen, I appreciate that and respect that about you mentioning how being involved in this stuff has actually made you a lot closer to your immediate circle. What I've had to come to grips with is that it's actually changed me. It's actually made me realize that I think I honestly trust less people.
Mhm.
I trust less people both in my actual everyday lives, but then also in this content thing as well. I now think I'm way more suspicious. Way like before, it's like you have your normal circle of people in your life. Now it's like every week there's new people you've never interacted with or don't have a history with who now want
Mhm.
something, whether it's coming on the platform, a collab, interview, a this or that, and not knowing what everybody's motives are. It's like it's taking that suspicion from me and almost putting it like on steroids. And I'll be like, yo, I know I want to work in this space, but like it's weird putting your hand in a bucket full of snakes and hoping none of them are poisonous. Like,
Well, I think when it comes to snakes and the only time that I get all of this, I just want to say this, I see you fantasy. This is why I left. Because she doesn't understand. But
mhm,
yeah. Um I think where you run across snakes or things like that is when you don't keep your strong boundaries up and you don't keep the people close to you that have discernment to help you. Because
mhm,
sometimes when you're in those situations, you kind of want to be hopeful, you're this, you're, optimistic, but that's why you have your close circle. That's why you have your man. That's why you have different people that help you with your discernment that are there to protect you. And you
mhm,
listen to those people. And, anytime that I have made a decision where I was snaked or I was wrong or anything like that, it
mhm.
was because I did not listen to either my intuition, or I said, you know what, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. And anytime you give somebody the benefit of the doubt, you end up with never the benefit, so
Mhm. Mhm.
that's just it's disappointing, but I think it's just reassurance for me that I don't need anybody. I don't
Mhm.
need I don't need anybody but the people that really support me, the people that really rock with me and want to stand on the standard. If it's some moral that people want
Mhm.
to hold me to, they need to be able to operate in that. I just feel like what's right and wrong. If we operate from the same moral code, then we cool. If not, we not. It ain't even
Yeah.
about black or white no more with me.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know.
listen, I definitely learned that. We the quickest ones to tear each other down with the swiftness. Fantasy Island Girl, she writes, why do you keep putting House of Hypocrite comments up when he said Lucky, that's why you got stabbed? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I mean, man, I didn't know he said that. It's y'all are gonna be shocked that the way I cover this stuff and engage in this content, I really don't know a lot of these things. So I apologize. I had no idea that House of Hypocrites had said that. And my man, I know you if you're still watching, bro, like, you know, yeah, I see you got a successful channel and brand and you're building it up like the rest of us. Bro, just kind of keep in mind, man, there's definitely lines that ain't worth it. I think that and if that's true, I'm not accusing you of saying that it is, but if that's true, bro, like that's just
Yeah,
a line
it's,
up.
it's true.
All right.
You
Yeah,
probably
man.
right.
That's not a
And
line, bro.
it's not even that. It's just not even to make it about that. It just shows the clicks from behind the scenes where people could just literally don't even know you. I just have an invested interest to make you content. So I'm gonna, and then I'm gonna come around you and it's like a form. I don't know if that's like a bullying tactic, but it's like just imagine if I'm a
Mm,
female and you're a man and this is my real life. Are you walking up to me saying that? And then what is your issue? Do you feel like you want to do it? Like, are we now at a space where grown men just do that? And it's like, hey, he cool. He just made a mistake. That's just where we are in life. So it's just,
yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
you. You don't know me. It's cool. Like, it ain't cool, but we're
Yeah.
online. So it
Yeah.
just got to be whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, and I appreciate how you said that about saying it, and if somebody was to say that to you in front of your face, which would be worse, but like everything I'm trying to do, of course I'm not perfect with this. Every single thing that I'm trying to put on this space,
Mm,
especially when I'm referencing somebody else, is something I have to be very comfortable with saying in front of their face.
yeah.
If I'm
Yeah.
not willing or able to say it to you to your face, then I'm not willing to say it on camera.
Yeah.
Because if we run into each other, I got to be able to stand on it. I got to be able to justify why I feel that way. And a line like that about like that's why you got stabbed or that's why you got cheated on and this and that. And I'm like, listen, man, like I get it that we want to be shock jocks, but like there's definitely levels to how far we can go with to where it starts making you look like whoever it is that you're referencing, are you going to start to say things that start to make you look worse than the person you're even talking about? And
Yeah.
and I even saw that with the Anton stuff and the Corey stuff, where I'm watching people defending different things, and I'm like, y'all realize y'all defending some stuff that's actually foul, cold, wrong, and because y'all team this
Hey,
or team that, like y'all looking crazy right now.
hey, I stood next to, I've sat on panels where the person that people is hating right now has said stuff, and I've been on panels like, and people may look at that girl sitting up there while he disrespected another woman. It's because if you
Mhm.
knew, if you went through what I went through behind the scenes, I got my own backup here. Ain't no woman about to speak up for me because the next
Mhm.
subject she may feel like, oh, this girl, she should be speaking up for all women. And
Mhm.
I just come from a place where women have done me wrong more than men. You know what I'm saying? So it does this. I'll try not to operate in bitterness, which is why I'm still always open. And, there's
Mhm.
maybe some tuning up, but when you're on panels and you just know strange women and these women want to jump their necks out and start fighting with the person, some stuff could be for content. You don't know. I'm going to just sit here because when it's me, nobody jumping their neck out for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I've been
Mhm.
clipped up like, oh, what's she doing sitting there? She ain't said nothing. She ain't a girl's girl.
Mhm.
You know what
Guilty
I'm
by
saying?
association. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it comes like behind the scene, none of y'all girls, that shit fake. Let a man come around here who y'all think is attractive or gonna give you
Mm.
some subscribers, gonna give you some attention. All that girl go out the window. I'm going over here. That's what
Bro,
it is.
oh, listen,
Yeah.
the dudes be dirty macking too. So that's not the guys be doing it too. They do the dirty macking, and there a
Yeah.
lot of guys, they're real big on trying to change women's perception of the guys that women are listening to or are
Yeah.
gravitating to. And it's like I understand that when it comes to like the panderers, like the guys is just like, it's all the guys' fault, and you a queen, and you need to drink your bath water and all that. Like I get those dudes, but it's like there's normal dudes in this space that's like, y'all don't even have an issue with these guys. Y'all just hate the fact that women listen to them or rock with them or support them. And I'm like, yo, this is like, it honestly feels like high school to me.
It's
Yeah.
honestly misguided sexual energy. Because if you
Mm,
think about it, most of the women that not think if you think about it just in general,
mhm,
most of the women that not the ones that I've brought to YouTube, but just that have maybe already doing YouTube that I may collab with or whatever,
mhm,
they are always coming from a male sector, or they may have had their own channel, but they find their way on in male spaces, and then they try to be girls in men's spaces, but they don't support women content creators. They don't help make women build and have a woman's. Why isn't there not a female sector?
mhm,
There's a
mhm,
manosphere, but there is not a woman's sphere of issues that highlight femicide, different issues that women introduce on these in male spaces and want men to talk about. But when you think of the women are not trying to support other women. They just want to be in places where men give them attention, whether it's back and forth attention, whether it's you got it, you so pretty attention, or whatever attention it is. They just want the attention.
mhm. Nah, that makes so much sense. Hold on,
Yeah.
what these chats is going crazy? Like Lucky just coming on my page, and now all these damn chats. What the hell?
Did
This
I
one-
do anything?
No, no, you just existing here. Fantasy go confess to your husband about how you got cracked by
Okay,
what?
don't be messy. Don't read it. If they didn't send a
Oh
super
my
chat, then don't
god,
read it.
bro! Like this, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. But listen, man, everybody that's currently watching, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel and to Lucki Maree's as well, particularly on YouTube. Make sure if you're watching this and enjoying this channel or this type of content, especially my interviews, that you like it, share it with 2, 3, 4, even 5 people. Since the last time I made that announcement, looks like about another 80 to 90 people have joined. So definitely appreciate everybody that's concurrently watching as we speak. Just a couple more questions because I know I don't want to hold you too long because you definitely, if anything, you busier than me. That's what I'm starting to realize, and I have a
Well,
busy schedule.
I have a meeting in about 30 minutes, so you're pretty
Got you,
good.
got you. All right. What's what's do you think that your followers truly know you or the version you've curated for yourself that you put on social media?
All versions are me. I think they know
Mm,
the version I choose to tell them, which is the version of, depending on what we're talking about, if it's my struggle with religion, because I was raised Christian, but I have a lot of questions that Christians can't answer. I
same.
don't agree with how Christians act. I think everybody who says they're Christian look like the people in the world, you know?
Mhm,
So
mhm,
I may do content that's regarding that, and then they'll get to learn my mindset with that. I may do a little bit of funny gossip stuff that they like and they want to chit chat about. So it's just like we on the phone talking, and I may talk about that. Like, so it just depends on what we're talking about. Or my rants. I'm like, y'all, this is a ghetto stream. I'm pissed off. You should be. I think that if anybody has ever felt that, they could relate. But what happens sometimes with people who don't know me, who aren't my subscribers, they come with the fake positive stuff, but you hear, you know what I'm saying? But you don't hear, you're not here if we wanted to talk about Erica Kirk grooming a 15-year-old girl. No, but you want to come here if we're talking about Lucki talking about another creator. And then you want to tell me, let's be positive, when most of my content is not even this. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like the people who have been there since day one and before I done content, they know there's a lot of stuff that I have not said. So at this point, if it's something that brings up drama or something where somebody knows, I feel justified because you created an issue that you knew was an issue in my life and you intentionally did it. And I don't know why. So yeah, I think my audience understands that. And I think, you know, sometime in your life you want to scream.
Yep. Yeah. And shout out to my guy Mont who pulled up at one point, and his lovely wife. I agree with you, Jeff, and thank you for the $4.99, bro. I agree with you, Jeff. The way I move, I think if you cool on YouTube, then you cool in real life. It don't work that way. You definitely right, bro. It does not. It does, like, this space definitely rewards a lack of integrity. This space definitely targets people who are honestly being themselves. And I loved your answer to that question about all of what I present as me. Because usually when I ask that question, people have to pick one or the other. And you're the first person to answer it in that way. And it's true. The version I'm presenting to people is truly me, but it's the version that I think is one that I think will be received well and that values wanting people to appreciate whatever it is that I put out there. There's a version of me that how I move outside of this where I really don't think about like other people's opinions. I'm just going to do something and that's the end of it. So yeah, so that's both, and both of those are me. Like, you know, I'm not completely 100% people pleasing, but I'm definitely not in the whole, I don't care about what anybody thinks. I fluctuate depending on the topic, person around me, and situation. And that sounds like you too. So I actually respect that.
Thank you.
Couple more super chats real quick to make sure I didn't miss. LL Nick, something to think about. Appreciate you, bro, for the $20. Salute, Jeff, West Coast Lucki. Everyone like and share this video. Yeah, man, everybody please do. We're teetering around 250 plus people concurrently watching as we speak. So definitely appreciate, and thank you, sir, for the super chat. So just two more questions. Relatedly, the whole conversation about dynamics behind the scenes, men, women, you know, all that. Now, what's the right way to say it? I've seen your name trending in the last week or so. In relation to my homegirl Jazz Noel, for everybody that's wondering. Is it difficult to tell me about you don't even have to go into specifics, but how did that situation impact you or change you, if at all?
It didn't change me at all. It impacted me because I actually liked her. I actually encouraged her on her actual success, like the things, her talents. And I was under the impression she was trying to get away from male-dominated stuff, you know, typical girl, whatever. And I thought that I've always, since, like I said, the original girl I did content with that introduced it, she was kind of similar with mindset. So every time I see that mindset, I never shy away because it challenges me. And maybe sometimes help me think maybe that's why I don't connect with women. Let me try to think, you know, more like women. I think I am a woman. I think like a woman, you know what I'm saying? So with that situation, to me, I thought it was genuine. I thought I was doing everything differently. But it became a problem when she brought somebody to me that everybody knows this situation. Everybody knows, unless you're just new or whatever. And when she brought it to me, because this person wanted her to bring it to me, according to what I understood, I told the boundary, like I say, everybody, because I've actually was on cruise season a lot more than I've ever worked with Anton, but that's one of the story. So from that part, when I'm telling you something and you play with me, oh, okay, this person's weird, oh, they're this, and oh, why are they doing this, acting like you don't like their relationship, you don't talk to this person just to keep doing content with me. but you're really having more conversations and you're making it messy, giving this person a reason to feel like they can attack me or whatever you thought you were doing, but while talking about me to this person and creating issues but playing dumb. I don't like that. That's a dangerous thing. That really is the reason why I've been in serious situations before where you try to be friends with women and because they're two-faced and you just can't say, hey, you know what, I'm cool with this person. I'd rather not do content with you because you set the boundary, but I'd rather, just kind of keep it, whatever the case may be. We don't know each other. Don't act like you kind of want to build this friendship or you like me on your own or you call me about issues on your own and you want this advice, all this type of stuff. And you're really talking about me. And then there's no reason, like, why? Like, I can see if I did, like, why? And you're really just trying to play both sides. You're really trying to get these other creators. And then when it's convenient, people are gonna just believe that I didn't know, and then the passive aggressive insults, and then I don't like that. And so to me, when I know it's not gonna get anywhere to have a conversation and you are cool with this, I'm gonna make an example out of you the same way you thought you were doing behind my back. So that's just what it was. And I don't really give a damn who thinks it's right or wrong. It's not about right or wrong. It was about how I felt justified because here's another female from these spaces who want to use this person according to what I, was under the impression of, or who do messy stuff that is really affecting me in my real life or being able to grow on different platforms. And you're doing that and you think it's cute. But because you get to run to other male content creators, like the one that wants to come in my chat and defend you and bring up something about being stabbed, and then you still work with them, but you're a girl's girl, you cool with that person saying that? You can kiss my ass. That's really what it was. So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm out here again by myself, defending myself.
Well, I'm going to ask you this straight out. Listen, I'm going to ask you straight out then. Do you regret the relationship you did have with Jazz, or do you wish it could improve?
I absolutely regret it. Absolutely. I honestly want to delete all the videos, never existed. Because it's embarrassing just on my part because I know where my intentions were, and that's just what it is. And people warned me. I didn't listen. So.
And is there is there any version of a response that she could give you that will cause you to see her in this situation any differently?
I would ask you, when people show you who they are, do you believe them?
90% of the time, yes.
What happens when you don't?
The 10% of the time when I don't,
they still are who they are.
I'm either proven right or wrong, but it's usually related to more information. And so 90% I'm with you, but that 10% it's usually related to curiosity over the value of the relationship itself. If I saw value in you at a particular point in time, and there was a reason for why that was, for why I want to connect with you, why I want to be friends with you, why I'm cool with you being in my life and us connecting together. That was real to me. That existed. Like there was a thing that was actually positive, there was positive energy there. We were building, we were growing, like something was happening.
Or maybe you.
Possible.
See, this is why I think I have a unique space on my channel, because I've learned that lesson so many times. It's what got me stabbed. Being friends, thinking you can defend people, and female bullshit of not being accountable, being whatever, being messy. That's just call it what it is. You're being two-faced. But what I do is consider it messy because I call you out. I'm not creating nothing in your life. I'm not going nowhere. But what I get to do is hide behind men who have an invested interest in what they do to be messy to women and go and say the things that they say to me with your support, Miss Woman, who can't get support from men. You get a lot of support. But this is the narrative so you can portray a victim. To me, that's a dangerous mindset. And I'm not even putting nothing on nobody. So I've learned that lesson already. If you show me you're a two-faced person, especially with someone who's harassing me, who finds different reasons to bring up to justify why I can't make different content on this platform. I can't go here. This person's behind talking to this person, just making it very difficult. You are participating in that so you can get a little bit of attention. So you could, that's good for you, but you don't get to do that with me. And people don't get to call me messy because I want to call a person like that a dumbass bitch. You don't just get to do that.
Lucky
So
we.
you just don't get to do that. So I mean, people can have their little spats when they're on the panels about these dumb topics, but when somebody really in their real life want to be, nah, that's you as your character. I don't care how you look. You ain't. It is what it is. So you either like me or you don't.
Yeah, now again, you did open up with that answer with stating that you do regret the relationship, and you know the therapist in me. That's literally my background. I'm always going to be trying to hope to reunify, but now I understand it. I understand your lens, and I've understand Jazz's as well, because I've spoken to her, and I understand it. Sometimes things just don't align, and we're just not on the same page, or we're just going to see it totally different, right? But you listen. When I talk to Jazz behind the scenes and I get to cussing and saying how I really saw a situation, she usually listens and receives what it is I have to say, because I think she knows I'm coming from a genuine place. And I know, if I could speak for Jazz, apologize, Jazz, if you didn't want me putting this out there. What you saw and how you framed it, I see and understand 100% of how you got there. Her version of how these things unfolded totally makes sense to me, why there's such a massive disconnect between you two. When I say the regret you have,
I don't have a regret.
No. The regret of being in a friendship with her, or even having a relationship with her. Like you're saying, you regret that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I can see.
I mean, well, let me tell you this. Let me just say this, right? And I get people, I talked to her on the back end without all information. So she just told me shit, and I really just believe she just was dumb and didn't know. Let me ask you, how can you be dumb if you say, Lucki is really the one putting me in this situation? I don't feel this way to someone I told you is doing these things, and you see it, and you tell this person this. How can you not know that? How can you also for yourself say, yeah, I don't know. I'm not even going to block you. I'm not going to do these things, but you're telling Lucki, I've tried to block them. I don't know how. That's a liar. That's a person who's deliberately trying to be mischievous and play both sides. And then when you can't play both sides and get whatever your benefit was, you then run somewhere and you get to play victim. That's all I'm dealing with. I don't care who you're friends with. I don't care none of that. If you don't get to lie to people just so you can keep using them, that is manipulation, and you don't get to do that. So anytime a person withholds the truth of what they really want to do to be able to do whatever they want to do with you, that is not an honest person. Now you could feel like you talk to Jazz. That's fine. That's how you feel.
Yeah, of course.
Me, I once I see who you are and you choose to move like that, and you choose to then not just say, you know what, I was being fake, or I was playing both sides. I was trying to be cool with someone. She did say that. That as a woman who comes to me arguing with me about femicide, about being a girl's girl, and I'm saying this is really happening to me. You could have asked more questions. You did. But I don't want to know. You want to be cool with this person, that's fine. But to me, it's just like, I'm not asking nobody to be on my side. I'm just asking the person, if that's not what you wanted to do, you didn't have to. But you don't get to lie to be able to still do whatever benefit you have, to have your cake and eat it too. And then when it blows up in your face, I'm just going to send these men to say whatever to you, or feel like they need to defend me because you're the bad girl.
Bro, and some of these dudes are weirdos tagging me. I'm like, my guy. And I'm going to tell you this, man. You talk about a girl's girl and all this other stuff. I'm going to comment on one thing. If you a female watching dudes crossing these lines and you sitting on camera looking goofy, we already know you ain't respected in that household. So if my wife was very comfortable with me disrespecting women who were not disrespecting me, my wife would start reevaluating me as a man and as a leader and a husband in that household. So you know, if y'all, just listen, folks, please stop being weirdos, man. Like it's especially those that want to go out of their way to attack people, and tagging people and all this other crazy stuff. But last question. What's the one thing that you hope people will find and experience when they watch your content?
Truthfully, laughter. Honestly, I hope when you watch my content, you feel like you really on the phone with your homegirl, just shooting it. Like that's really, I'm not trying to be your wife. I don't have the answers for this. You don't have to talk to me like you need me to submit to you online. I don't need none of that. It's just, hey girl, what's up? You
Yeah.
know, even in my membership, I have like a one-on-one part where some people just like, look, you seen this? We were talking about conspiracies, just different
Mm-hmm.
stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that I'm interested in. And
Same.
it's sometimes
Same.
it's sad that I come from a space of Black people who are not interested in anything that's really going on in the world that's also affecting and encouraging gender war, because they do not want us together. They want us to have all these issues. It's a form of population control. That's where my mind will go. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Just really go down that. It's kind of sad, but I want people to just get like a down to earth girl who's cool. She trying to get it right. Sometimes she make mistakes. I'm trying not to cuss. The average person, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just a regular
Yeah. Yeah.
girl. Not even I make mistakes like you. Come disagreements. I learn from disagreements the same way you
Mm-hmm.
do. Just always be respectful and
Fact.
don't just try to cross me. That's it.
And shout out to my guy Bruiser for the $50 banger, the men's table. My guy, us starting the men's table has been a dope, and working with guys who I really do think have a lot of integrity and that do check me and give me advice and feedback behind the scenes of how I got to move. I appreciate you, Bruiser, for the gift, of course, and also for just how you move in this space, even behind the scenes, because what Lucky's kind of alluding to, I actually have that with a few people now that I'm working with as well. Why don't you, hey, thank you for pulling up. We definitely got to work together. And you know me and a couple people I'm working with, we trying to build up a little panel situation. You think you might come through or something like that?
It depends.
If
Let's see
you
if
know
people
who's
like
on
it.
the panel in advance.
Oh yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I'm not
Right.
even like that. I know how to conduct. I've been on a panel with people I can't stand. So
Right. Oh, good, good. This is, listen, I'm not messy with it. As far as the panel's concerned, I typically want people who I think can work well together. We can challenge each other, but for me, it's just more interesting conversations. The messy panels, I'll leave that for Fatty, and he can keep those, and I'll
oh,
stick
you
to.
saying he has messy? That's let me ask. Can I ask a question, or is it
Yes,
just a
sir.
one-side interview?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
What makes a panel messy?
When the intent is when not even just the intent, when the intent and the motives are strictly for the algorithm and not for it to get high into the algorithm, and that's the means to the end. It's not for growth. It's not for people being better. It's not for people understanding new perspectives. It's strictly for, by any means necessary, put on all the people that we think can basically do the shock jock, do whatever. And you could have very charismatic people or whatever, but when you do that, I think what happens is you're going to wind up putting people on your platforms that sometimes are going to push really toxic, harmful images and messages, especially of our community.
Okay.
So now, to be fair to Fally, and I'm saying that facetiously as a joke, I think I've seen a noticeable shift and change in the last 2, 3, 4 months with Fatty's panels, where I do see they can still talk about the same topics, but the caliber and quality of people maybe 5, 6 months ago was a little crazy, and too many people that were just had agendas that probably could have derailed Fatty and Ali's work. I think that now the quality of people that they're bringing on are a really good representation of like their brand and wanting to grow. Because once you get typecasted as a ratchet channel, as a ghetto channel, that's like it's hard to get out of that. And when you do panels that's built that way, you don't. Basically, what I'm saying is when you put a panel together and you don't care about how Black women gonna look, that's gonna be a messy panel. When you don't care about how the Black community gonna look, that's a messy panel to me. That's a panel.
Well,
Yeah.
do
So
you
for
think?
me, even if I select you, if I select Black women, I'm going to select Black women that can be very articulate, that are a good showing of what we're capable of in this space, not people who are just about the stereotype. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I just was curious because I think we've seen a lot of panels that have not produced relationship. They have not produced marriages. They haven't produced anything other than bitter people or just trying to drive a narrative to say men are this the way, women are this way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when I think of a messy panel, I guess I just was thinking at this point, if people want to continue panels, why aren't they just vetting people or picking people who already really care
Yep.
or really just showing themselves? You know what I'm saying? Just to ask, because
Yep.
we're gonna have disagreements when you're trying to find solutions. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's the part of the entertainment. But yeah, I've been on panels where they try to initiate drama, you know what I'm saying, where it's just disagreements happen naturally. So yeah, I just was curious what you thought.
Nah, yeah. And again, being like-minded doesn't mean you agree with me on everything. Like-minded for me is like, can you have a conversation in a respectful way? Like very baseline, easy checkbox stuff. And are you
Well,
willing
you
to?
know, a part of, since you're gonna read the super chats, a part of why I said what I said that day to you, and I assumed negative intent was
Mhm,
because you tagged people to come pull up for Mika. That was Lakeisha. Keisha don't do panels. All these people, you know
mhm,
what I'm saying? It was like,
mhm,
what was the intention? And then people do call you messy. So what do you
mhm.
say about people who think you're messy? Why do they think you're messy?
Yeah, I think to be fair, I think anytime you give an opinion on anything about anyone, people can technically use that label. So that kind of comes with the territory. And number two, I know what me being messy actually looks like. So,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So as an example, me mentioning Fatty just now, that was being a little messy, right? Like I could
yeah.
have used any example or anyone in particular, but the funny thing with Fatty is that, like I said, I can acknowledge two things. Previously, I think his panels was a bit messy, and then now I don't feel that way anymore, and I can put both those things out there. But it's the fact that I said his name. People, oh, see how messy he is. People could take it for what it is. Like Fatty could say whatever he want. Ali, me, anybody in the space can say whatever we want. But sometimes I'm using that as an example where it's like, I'm learning and growing as I'm watching and seeing what everybody else is doing. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it in a way where I can feel okay about the product at the end. Not just, oh, 20,000 people watched this. Like, nah, I want it to be something where I think in the end, me and we need to talk. When we've talked about this, it's like I'd rather try to do it in a way where I feel like I can live with it. I can live with
Yeah,
the results of it. That's
yeah,
all. That's all. If that means less
yeah.
people watch it, I guess I'm cool with that. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, no right or wrong answer. I was just curious, but I am very appreciative that you found me to be somebody interested. You wanted
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. Listen,
So
you
thank you.
definitely got a voice, and again, I actually respect the bluntness and the straightforwardness because at least we know, and I know where you stand, especially with me. Real quick, because we're wrapping things up, guys. John Boogie 39, appreciate you for the $20. No, these are not veneers. I know people keep asking, and
Oh, he
people.
was saying you got wood teeth.
No.
That's wild. I'm stealing
Listen,
that. That's
man,
funny.
appreciate you for the. If y'all want to roast me, go ahead and roast me. Get it out there. Nah. These are caps. These are not veneers.
That was fresh off the dome too. I bet
Hey,
you.
hey. Voice of Reason. Appreciate you for the $5. Came in toward the tail end of the stream. Just wanted to support. Salute to you, Voice of Reason. Thank you. And last but not least, Tony D Golden. Thank you for the $2. You are quietly messy, Jeff. Just know
Hey,
people see it.
Tony.
Hey, I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna accept it. Like I said before, I do think that whenever people say anything about anything, by default, people only say that in reference to what they disagree with you saying it about. So I've noted that or learned that more or less. So listen, y'all, why don't you let everybody know where they can help find and support you?
You could find me on YouTube. I do have other platforms, but y'all, let me just tell y'all, I'm trying to buy land in Vegas and get builder's license. So I
Mm.
hope to vlog this journey.
Oh, that's gonna be
I
fire.
did not know that it was this big. You know, when they say the government is in your business trying to stop you, they are.
Mm.
But those are my main goals. But for now, you can find me on YouTube doing content when I feel like it.
So let me
But yeah,
see.
I tried to do more. I kind of took a break. I really quit, but a lot of people really who supported me that I didn't think who reached out. It made me like remind me of the reason. Like you know what, don't quit. So, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram,
Mm-hmm,
TikTok. I'll be on there. If you
mm-hmm,
become a member or you follow anything, it's more so vlogging. So Lucky Rants
mm-hmm.
and that's what it is. Just look at it like if I see something and I want to just say something about what I'm seeing, that's pretty much what it is. But yeah, for now you can follow me on YouTube and everything else will be linked. But thank you so much for having me.
Listen, yeah, thank you for pulling up. This was a definitely chill conversation, and like I said before, you're needed. You're necessary in this space, believe it or not. Even
Thank
despite
you.
how it may go off or how it comes off to some of the ladies in the space. Like you said, a lot of guys is rocking with you because you're a straight shooter and you won't let us off the hook. If anything, I'll say stay the same. Stay
Thank
you.
you.
But
Thank
you and
you.
the philosophical, I'm gonna tell y'all again, the emotions, we're gonna have to reduce some of that in this space so people ain't driving y'all too down.
You know, Fantasy Island girl, she keeps me in line. She keeps
Good.
me in line. Sean Reeves, you'll see him a lot around my channel. We haven't he's not a content creator, so I don't know if you mentioned him. L Nix came in here. A lot of
Mhm.
people who don't do content keep me grounded. So but they before I jump off the porch,
Mhm.
but I honestly I feel like that was my porch jump because I actually did like that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't wish
Yeah.
them any negative, but that part was just needed for me. But
Yeah.
as
I
far as
get
in the
it.
future, I don't
Mhm.
plan on really working with anybody on my channel. But I will come to your channel and
All
work with
right,
you.
all right. Listen, y'all.
Absolutely.
We made the cut. We made the cut. We're gonna be able to pull up on Lucki Maree's side in future projects and endeavors.
Yeah.
Listen, I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody that's watching. Please make sure that you support this sister. Check out her channel. Make sure that you're a subscriber. And thanks again for coming through.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
All
Bye.
right. All right, y'all. So that was pretty dope, man. Just to prick her brain and we went from like, yo, are we beefing to like, as you see, 99% of the time when it comes to this stuff, it really isn't what the algorithm or what social media is kind of saying. And I'm one of those people that tends to be, depending on the value of the person, their message, and the relationship, 98% of the time willing to actually welcome people on and interact with them and have these back and forth conversations. Of course, this is, I have to value what they have to say and their views and their opinions to bring them onto this particular platform. But what I realize is like a lot of times, a lot of this stuff is just miscommunication. And a lot of us all having the same dream that our channels, our messages, our words, they matter in this space and that people see it as meaning something. And unfortunately, sometimes it drives us to do things that compromise us, that causes us to throw people under the bus, and again, people could say that about me and Fatty. I was more so joking, but really, really go out of our way to like hurt and harm people, hurt families and everything. And sometimes I'm realizing like I got to be really careful with doing this type of content and work to not get lost in that and start becoming something that I'm not. So it was dope to kind of get lucky to just pull up and go from like we got an issue with each other, like, oh, we ain't actually have an issue at all. It was just a misunderstanding, and showing what that looks like when two people who are doing this type of work who may not be aligned or not see eye to eye initially can just sit down, and before you know it, like, she's actually pretty interesting. And her, Illa, a couple people that I'm coming into contact with, they're just real. They're the same people behind the scenes and even in front of the camera. And I'm learning that I think those are the people who I got to work well with and that I should try to keep working with. So, shout out to Lucki Maree for kind of coming up and pulling through. Saw some very interesting characters in the chat for sure. I'm sure I'll be, there was a few of them that already got banned, it looks like, for some of my admins or got kicked out. John Boogie, know the background wood paint. Oh, I thought you was talking about the teeth. Oh man, that's funny. My bad. Yeah, man. So listen, everybody that's watching this, hope super appreciative. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tonight. Make sure you check it out. It's going to be a call-in show. So ladies, if you are interested, please make sure that you email askabrotherpodcast@gmail.com or askabrotherpodcast@outlook.com and let us know that you're interested in wanting to call in. You have to be single, really single. And it's a show for ladies to just call in and be educated potentially about some of the reasons for why it is that they may be single and what it is that they can do about it or change. And I think if Taylor Chandler is still available, she may actually be co-hosting that with me later this evening as well. So super excited to do that. Thanks everybody that tuned in last night with me and the fellows on the men's table. We got so many big things happening. So last but not least, y'all, announcements real quick. Number one, men's group. It's on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single week. Me and the fellows literally just finished up our first book with the 12 steps of life with Dr. Jordan Peterson. We're now getting ready to jump into watching The Pursuit of Happiness, believe it or not, and discussing that and the journey of being a father, of not having a lot of support, and the journey of struggling when you feel like you don't have a lot of emotional and relational connections, and making sure that we know how to connect with each other hold each other accountable, and keep encouraging each other as we journey through this thing called life. So make sure you check out the links for our men's group. All the links are in my channel description, by the way, on YouTube. And then secondly, our second group is on Mondays at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is our movie book club. We just wrapped up going through The Matrix. Amazing. The double-digit people that have shown for that group. We're super excited. We're actually going to be covering two big things, which I'm not really going to announce too much as of yet, but I will say we are going to watch The Truman Show, and we are going to be watching another show as well, Truman Show movie, as well as another show. And I think that, again, these are just going to be interesting, fun things to kind of navigate, where you just you're literally creating a new community. And that's been fun to kind of launch those. We have some other announcements that's going to be coming pretty soon. But listen, y'all, thanks for everybody that tuned in, that pulled up. Let's see, Mont, just DM me or email me with the email that everybody that I just mentioned, askabrotherpodcast@gmail.com. And me and you can link, because you're another brother who I also would love to pull up on the panel as well, for sure, in terms of this, how you go about with respecting the space, the platform, and also the people that you're interacting with. So, bro, I definitely would like to reach out to you and see if you'd be willing to pull up, for sure. So shout out to Mont for the $4.99 as well. So we're going to watch a brief clip from our sponsor, and then I'm going to say my goodbyes, and then see y'all later tonight. Thanks again to Dusable Botanicals for their healthy alternative products to helping men out in the bedroom when it comes to boosting testosterone and sexual performance. So, fellas, I say it again, please make sure you check them out. Links are in my channel bio. You'll get, if you use Ask a Brother, you'll get 10% off on the coupon section of your next purchase. And like I said before, if you guys want to send me any reviews, no pictures, no videos, I don't want to see no evidence that is working outside of your words, describing and stating that this stuff is working and improving both your life and the life of your significant other. And I had to just put this up real quick because the GOAT pulled up in the building. One of the GOATs of this space, Miss Crimson Cure herself, pulled up in the building. Shout out to you, ma'am, for everything that you do. Just let you know, I'm going to be sending you something pretty soon as I finish working on the thing that I told you I was going to be working on. So I can't wait to hear your feedback about that. And thanks everybody that tuned in for this stuff. So again, man, super excited about tonight. So definitely get ready for that. I think it's at 8 o'clock this evening. Single lady call-in show. Why are you single? Remember what I said before? You come with respect. I'm gonna have respect for you. You act crazy, I'm probably just going to delete you and block you from the channel and keep it moving. But this is really for ladies who genuinely want honest to God feedback as a man, as a Black man, as a therapist, as a content creator. If you want to ask my genuine opinions about your life and how you've gotten to this point where you're 30, 35, 40 plus and still single, I'm going to let you know my honest opinion. Don't treat it as the gospel, but just a new perspective that I think could be something that perhaps you haven't thought and or heard of. So guys, see y'all soon on the other side, and I'm going to talk to y'all soon. And thanks everybody that's been tuning in, supporting the brand, the channel. And I'm excited to see what this is going to continue to turn into. And make sure y'all share this particular video. Let's get it up in the algorithm. All right, y'all. Peace.